When the world feels heavy with noise and stories that crowd the mind, it helps to find a quiet moment to simply listen. This is 10 Better Minutes, a space for real stories you might have missed, ones that offer a steadier view of what is happening around us. It is not about ignoring the tough parts, but about noticing more of the calm and care that also exist. I am Ian Rhodes, your host, and I appreciate you sharing a few minutes here with me today. We will hear about marine animals coming to the aid of a stranded baby whale, and a quick-thinking off-duty rescuer helping children in need. But first, let us begin with a story about a small gesture that started a neighborhood friendship for a young child in North Carolina. In Concord, North Carolina, a lonely 4-year-old named Roman found something he did not even know he needed. You know, that simple habit of waving, just because it feels friendly. Roman waved to the neighbors next door each day, and one retired neighbor, Wade Folger, actually stopped and waved back with more than a smile. He began chatting with Roman, and then he took the next good step. He invited him to come over to be part of the everyday. And once one person opened the door, other people followed. Neighbors started to join in, keeping the warmth going. Roman did his part too. He invited senior citizen neighbors to watch and join in as he went to swim meets and basketball, soccer, and baseball practices. Sometimes there was even something bigger, like a preschool open house, plus birthday call-ins that made him feel remembered. What is touching is how ordinary it all was. Roman is the one doing the hello. The neighbors are the ones turning it into real friendship, and his mother, Anna Butzloff, could see the change right away. She said she saw him happier. It reminds you that trust in people can start from something small. One conversation can become a circle of connection, and that circle can make a neighborhood feel like home. It is amazing how something small like a baby doll can turn into a whole practice of love. Today, we are looking at a story where gentle play becomes real confidence, one routine at a time. Sylas is 4 and lives in Philadelphia, and he asked his mom, Mary, for another sibling. Mary wanted a loving, age-appropriate way to support his development while helping him practice caregiving. So she surprised him with a baby doll named Ellie and documented their days together. In the videos, Sylas feeds Ellie from a little play kitchen, prepares pretend food, and carries on like a caring parent in training. He bathes Ellie and follows a cozy routine, including reading before bath time. And yes, even the potty routine makes an appearance, with Ellie using it while Sylas wears a dinosaur costume, turning learning into something playful instead of pressured. Along the way, he joins in family life too, watching Ms. Rachel and heading out for simple adventures like food shopping and swim class, then exploring the city. The most uplifting part is how quickly the joy spread. Viewers responded with encouragement, and Mary shared that the attention helped motivate her to do more than just record their play. She planned a baby doll drive for children placed in foster care, so other kids could have that same comforting space to practice nurturing through their own routines. Sometimes the ocean seems so vast and indifferent, yet every so often it offers a lesson in gentle teamwork. In Western Australia, a juvenile southern right whale was trapped in the Peel Harve Y estuary for more than 2 weeks. Heavy rains and a high tide had left it stranded, and researchers worried that without reaching deeper waters soon, it would not make it. The whale, nicknamed Gale the whale, was about 10 meters long, too big to move easily on its own, and time was starting to run out for the team watching from shore. Then local dolphins appeared, not as distant myths, but as living guidance. They moved in pods around Gale, helping guide the young whale through deeper waters, steering it away from the shallow area where it had been stuck. Once Gale was able to travel beyond the estuary, the pressure on the researchers eased. The whale made its way back to the open ocean successfully. In that moment, hope was not a feeling without proof. It was visible in the simple rhythm of the dolphins guiding, the whale following, and the water finally becoming wide enough for recovery. it is a reminder that rescue can take unexpected forms. Sometimes help arrives not with a plan written in advance, but with a calm, steady direction towards safer ground. It is the kind of moment that reminds you preparedness can live right beside ordinary family time. Today, we are looking at how one calm decision made all the difference. On July 4th, Jason Horne, an off-duty firefighter from North Texas, was out on Alvarado Lake with his family in Midlothian. He even had time with his 12-year-old daughter, sharing a holiday ride that should have been simple and easy. Then, a nearby boat tipped over and people started yelling that children were trapped underneath. From the water, Horne did not hesitate. He told his daughter to sit tight, jumped in, and dove under the pontoon boat to look for the children. He pulled 2 children out and began chest compressions and CPR on a boy while other people helped search. A 3rd child was located by Good Samaritans, also unresponsive, and the emergency response moved quickly from rescue to hospital care. First responders rushed all 3 children to the hospital, and according to the Alvarado fire chief, they recovered. Later, the family personally thanked Horne, a quiet ending to something that could have gone very differently. What stays with me is how courage does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like steady hands, clear focus, and doing the next right thing, even when you are off the clock. Sometimes the kindest rescue stories begin far from one another and somehow still end up moving in the same direction. Here is a small, hopeful look at what happens when 4 baby bobcats get a second chance to grow up the right way. Within days of each other in California, 4 baby bobcat kittens were found in places like Kern, Carmel, and Concord, each discovered at a distance from the place where they likely belonged. Their mothers were no longer able to care for them, and the kittens were at real risk without the protection and guidance that come from living with a mother. Luckily, calls reached the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA, and the kittens were collected and brought to the Saratoga Wildlife Care Center together. At the center, the work shifted from urgent rescue to careful rehabilitation. The kittens were cleared of parasites and fed a natural meat diet. They were placed in special recovery and conditioning facilities designed to help them regain strength and learn the skills they will need. In a large enclosure, they can practice muscle building and enrichment, including the kind of focused, learning-driven pouncing that belongs to bobcat life. Now they live together at the care center, growing into semi-adult readiness, and in October the plan is to introduce them back into the wild, not as fragile babies, but as animals with learned instincts and better chances ahead. It is a hopeful reminder that healing and preparation can be a loving form of trust. As always, I have a wonderful tip for you to help your mind settle and make room for a little more joy in the world. Today's tip is about creating a Friday reflection on who showed up for you. Not just the big events, the quiet moments too. Take a minute and ask yourself, who was present in my week? Think about the person who checked in with a message, the coworker who shared a calm voice when things got busy, or the friend who listened without trying to fix you. And do not forget the less obvious supports. The barista who kept things friendly, the neighbor who waved, the stranger whose kindness made you feel safer on your walk home. Now let your mind land on what they actually gave you. Was it patience, encouragement, laughter, steadiness, or simple reliability? Naming it helps you feel it more clearly, and it reminds you that connection is real, even when it is easy to overlook. If you want, write 1 or 2 names, then add 1 sentence about how they mattered. Carry that with you into the weekend. And if you have the energy, consider sending a short thank you while it is still fresh. Well, friends, we have reached the end of this episode of 10 Better Minutes. I am grateful you spent a few minutes with me today, especially if the news has felt heavy or loud. The point is simple, and maybe even quiet. People keep showing up with decency, with care, with the kind of goodness that does not always make headlines, but it is still there. If you want a few more grounded stories to clear some noise from your day, please follow or subscribe, and new episodes are posted every day. And if you have a good news story link or something positive happening in your own community, share it in the comments so others can find it too. This is Ian Rhodes with 10 Better Minutes. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.